Hey, my friend from Ready Cyclist, it's Graeme Street, and you're here with me in my cyclo-core training studio where I train thousands of you around the world with my famous Cyclo-Hit 30 sessions. And today I'm going to give you 5 really important tips to guarantee improvement for you on your indoor trainer and outside on your bike. So everything I'm going to give you today, you can either do inside with me or outside, of course, on the road with my in-ride drills. Number 1. Pre-ride activation. You know, so many of us think about getting on the bike and doing our aerobic warm-up, which for most of us is about 30 seconds of light spinning, and then we're in gear. For many of you that are sitting at your desk all day at work, 6, 8, 10, 12 hours a day of inactivity through your hip joints, if you wonder why you get on the bike and you can't get those engines to rev up fast, regardless of your aerobic conditioning, it's time to activate the hip girdle, the most important aspect of us as the everyday cyclist. Give you a couple examples. Things like basic leg swings, looking to activate the hip flexor in the front, the gluteals in the rear. Opening up the external rotators, the glute medius. Opening up the internal rotators. All these stabilizer muscles that can be pre-activated in a gingerly, easy way without compromising our body's ability to stay elastic. When you get on the bike, you're immediately going to see a jump in immediate power and prolonged power as you move through. And the reason why is that all the energy for you as a cyclist channels through this corridor here. If this corridor is tight and weak because you've been sitting at your desk all day like this, and you wonder why you get on and you feel like crap, this 3 to 5 minute drill, which I have included in many of my Hit 30 sessions before I get you on the bike, you can learn how to do it. It's really easy to do. It's about 5 or 6 different routines. You get on and presto, you'll feel like you've done a 20-minute warm-up. Now, number 2, once you get on the bike, now we want to continue that warm-up or that activation. Typically, you know, again, this is typical. It's going to be in a small gear, small ring in the front, big cog in the back. And we're going to work with our neuromuscular drills. Now, what I would recommend, typically, is doing what's called alternating. So you want to alternate the legs, right, 6 or 7 strokes, floating the left, switch it. Now we're activating the left, floating the right, meaning we're de-easing the pressure, taking the pressure off one leg and activating the other. Maybe doing 10, 15 of those back and forth until your body begins to smooth out. Once it does, now there's 3 or 4 other things we can play with on our trainer. Number 1, working on, of course, our muscular endurance. And of course, what that means is putting yourself into a gear, big ring in the front, 15 or lower in the back, that forces you to a slower and slower cadence. Now, of course, we want to progress this tension, this continual tension, from week to week, month to month, as you're training, whether it's with Cyclo 90 or by yourself. You don't want to just come in here and throw yourself in the hardest possible gear and wrench through your joints. You have to develop the muscular endurance through the muscles first so we can begin to progress that strength forward. This is when a power meter on your bike becomes really powerful, because now, when you're working with this kind of drill, if I'm using heart rate, it's not really telling me the whole story. Power is going to tell me how much actual energy I'm transferring between myself, the pedals, and through the bike. 250 watts, 300 watts, 320 watts, regardless of heart rate. Now, on the flip side of that, we're going to, of course, go back to our more neuromuscular drills, the high RPM drills, which will tend to increase heart rate, increase neuromuscular connectivity between your brain and your working corridors, your working muscles. We want to get these faster and faster. Lots of different drills we'll go over. I know many of you have done these drills with me before. Hard drills, whether it be seated, whether it be standing, hovering, seated again, back to big gears. And of course, that's when we come to the pinnacle, which is combining with the high tension, the high neuromuscular, and seaming those together at your sweet spot, if you will, cadence and gear, to get you to your threshold, zone 4, zone 4 plus, zone 5, zone 5.5, zone 5 plus, whatever you want to call it. Get into those higher frequencies of energy output, shorter and shorter duration. And then, of course, the most important part of any good training system or session is to get you to repeat those things in a progressive way. So from workout to workout, week to week, you should see that climb. Now I'm going to finish with an example. I have Vermont 50, a mountain bike race, very tough mountain bike race, coming up on Sunday. It's Thursday. Today's my last workout. I did a HIIT session that I'm already done. Exactly what I just went over with you. All the things we just went over, I did in that workout. But one of the most important things that I focused on was number one, how much power can I throw out in relation to my threshold in a big gear? For me, that's the 50-11. I'm strong right now. I'm in peak condition. And for me, I'm throwing out 335 watts. Now, that's going to be a little bit higher than I hope to provide for VT50, which is a good thing. That means 5, 8, 10-minute segments at 335 is a lot of power, even for my weight, which I'm pretty heavy. The good news is that that means my muscular endurance is at a high capacity, which is where I want it. Now, what I also did today is go from that directly to small gears and seeing how much control I have in the grannies. Now, for me, that's really important because I'm riding VT50 single speed. That means that I'll go from monster tension of 15%, single track hills, lots of them, 8,000 feet of climbing in 50 miles, all the way down to super spinning because I've only got one gear. Now for you, single speeder or not, these frequencies, these changes allow you to gain the fitness that you need to take on any goal at any time in an ongoing fashion. This is why those of you that are using Cyclo-90 base, Cyclo-90 in-season, are seeing such dramatic results, is that we're progressing these things each week, each workout. And when you come back, you're going to see those wattages begin to go up for every frequency, whether it's the high tension, whether it's the high neuromuscular, whether it's the high anaerobic, whether it's the high aerobic, and of course, hopefully all of the above. You can see I'm sweating really bad today. That's great news. That means my body is charged up and ready to go. I finished at 40 minutes total for my workout today. Most of my HIIT sessions are 30 minutes or less. You can combine two of them together, of course, in the Cyclo-90 program, and that's going to get you the results you're looking for. I hope these tips are helpful. 5 or 6 things you can always immediately put into your training and get immediate results. Until we speak again, I'll see you riding with a smile on your face and hopefully riding stronger than you ever have before. I'll talk to you later. Hey, if you're still here, I got 2 bonus tips for you. If you are doing a trainer session, whether it's a Cycle Hit 30 session with me or one of your own sessions or someone else's videos that you're watching, and you seem to be on for that day, meaning that for whatever reason that chain has disappeared and your body feels like it's firing on all cylinders, it's always a great idea to finish up your workout with an 8 to 10 minute zone 4 threshold test, just to see where that higher end engine is kicking into gear. Today I decided to do that after I filmed the first set of tips with you, which is why I'm doing this bonus tip session. When I finished filming the video, I decided to do a 10-minute block, as many watts as I could throw out. I sustained 368 watts for 10 minutes. Now, the last time that I did that was probably about 2 months ago, and that number was about 333 watts. So I've jumped about 35 watts at zone 4, and I could have kept going past minute 10. That means that my body is at a high level of repeatability and a high level of muscular endurance and anaerobic capacity. Now, when I go to VT50 this weekend, I'm not looking to use that amount of wattage on every climb that I do. It's a bad idea over 50 miles, but it gives me a higher ceiling from which to work from. So now I can drop that down to about 320 watts and sustain that hopefully for much longer duration and repeat it over and over and over again. Second tip, when you finish a HIIT session, now is the time when you want to do something like Cyclo Recover, Cyclo Endure, Cyclo Strong, the Core Back Blaster for my cyclo-core sessions. These are the secret ingredients to take that neuromuscular strength and aerobic capacity you've gained on the bike. When you get off, that compartment, that middle compartment is revving on all cylinders. Now is when you want to hit it really hard and very focused with cycling-specific functional training. This is where my cyclo-core training becomes really powerful to help take your strength from the bike and convert it into more functional strength, so when you get back on the bike again, you see another increase in that strength and performance. So great bonus tips. Again, these are all included in my Cyclo-90 base and my in-season modules. If you don't have those yet, they're super inexpensive. It's like a whole coaching program for $100. It'll get you through your off-season and then some. Give it a try. I guarantee you'll see at least a 10 to 15% jump in your power in the next 90 days or less. I'll talk to you later.